Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the next update for my beauty budget. Today I'm going to be discussing the products that I bought in March, because I did actually pick up a few things. I have a few things to talk about, which is very exciting. So I'm going to go through that today, and I'm also going to share with you the points that I earned and where I am in general with my beauty budget. Before I jump into that, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So since it's going to be very repetitive if I go over my rules every single video, I'm just going to go through the points by themselves, because yeah, I think it's going to be very repetitive when I go through the rules. So check out my intro or any of my other updates and you will see them there. So starting in March, we had 14 points roll over from February, so I was still doing really well. I had a lot of points to spend, so yeah, that's kind of where I was at the beginning of March. Like I said, I did actually pick up a couple of things, so let's start with those and then I'm going to go through the points themselves that I earned. The first product that I picked up was actually something that I found in TK Maxx. Sometimes I buy things on TK Maxx, not too often, only if it's something that I feel like I really want, or something that is either something that I want anyway, or like a brand that I really love, and something like a shade that I really like. And that's somewhat what happened here. I did actually find a Charlotte Tilbury thing in TK Maxx. There was actually a few things. There was a couple of lipsticks too from their like celebrity kind of line. I don't know what they call, but there was like the Viva La Vigara, is that what it's called? And like another one that I can't remember, but it was like quite bright colors, and I'm starting to realize I don't need more bright colors in my collection. But I did find this, and I think this is actually a discontinued line. This is the, what is it called? This is the Pillow Talk Diamonds lipsticks, and this one is in Lucky Diamonds. This one is like a brownie kind of nude shade with gold sparkles in it, and that is actually what I'm wearing on my lips today. So you can see what it looks like on my lips. It's very nice and comfortable. It's quite shiny, as you can see. It's a bit more sheer, and then it has those sparkles to it. The sparkles are quite significant, quite obvious, especially if you are in bright lighting, but in daylight and just a day-to-day, I do quite like this lip color. When I have my ring light on, or like I have like a little mini kind of light that I use when I do my makeup, I put it on top of my mirror right here normally, and then it gives really bright kind of colors too, or like brightness when I do my makeup. When I have that on, when I first tried this on in front of those lights, I was like, whoa, that's too many sparkles, that's way too much glitter, I don't like it. But then I turned it off and it looked way better, and I looked in front of my big window, like I have a big window like over there, and I looked like in daylight, and I really quite like it. I don't know what it looks like on camera yet, but I thought I would wear it so you can see what it looks like. But yeah, this is what I picked up, and yeah, I really do quite like it. I think it's going to be quite a nice one to wear just like on an everyday basis. It also would be something easy to pan, but you can see that it is maybe quite sparkly. I don't know if you can pick it up, but I think you can. But it also just looks very glossy and nice. So yeah, that is the first thing that I picked up. And since it wasn't a replacement, it is 1 point spent. So that is the first thing that I picked up. And I do think I already said, but if I haven't, this was the shade Lucky Diamonds. Next up we have another product which I guess you could consider skincare, but I do feel like it's more makeup because it has a slight tint to it. And this is something that I actually got for free, and I will tell you a little bit of a backstory. I've had issues with my laptop recently. I think I posted it on Instagram, perhaps I did, because I had issues. My keyboard just completely stopped working on my laptop. I have a MacBook, it's actually quite old, it's like 7 years old this year, so it is very old, and it's time to replace it anyway soon. But the keyboard just completely shut down, which meant that I first of all couldn't log into my laptop initially because I had to type my password and I couldn't, so I had to like borrow a spare keyboard from work, and then I was able to log in, back up my laptop and everything, and I managed to get up like, you know, one of those like little virtual keyboards you can like press on the screen. So that's kind of how I used it for a while. I took it to the Apple store to get it checked out, and that's kind of where the story comes in. But just to wrap up the laptop thing, it's actually working absolutely fine now. Like it started coming back, like, you know, like I was working and then all of a sudden it started working again on the keyboard, and then it stopped again. But now for the last like week or so it's been working absolutely fine. So fingers crossed it keeps doing that. But I do feel like this is kind of a warning sign that it's time to start looking into replacing it. But a laptop is so expensive, especially because I have a MacBook and I do want to buy an Apple laptop again. Like I think I'm gonna get the MacBook Pro, like not the newest version but the one before. I guess the 13, because I just like Apple, and I've had MacBooks or like Macs for probably 10 years now, if not longer, so I feel like that's what I'm used to. Anyway, that's beside the point. When I was there, I was in Covent Garden because that's the Apple I went to, and I decided to check out the Glossier store. Glossier is a brand that I do want to try, but I wasn't gonna purchase anything that day. I just wanted to see things in person, sort things out, put things on my wish list, and then, you know, think about it and buy them maybe at a different time. So I went there, and as soon as I got there, the lady at the entrance said, like, she said, oh, we're really sorry, but our internet is down, like our Wi-Fi is down, which means that we can't make any purchases. And I was like, oh, that's so fine, I was having a look anyway. Walked inside, like I did loads of swatches, I checked out every single product, took loads of photos with my phone of products that I want to put on my wish list, and then I was like, okay, let's head home. And on the way out, she was like, okay, we're really sorry about the inconvenience that you couldn't make any purchases. Do you want a free bomb.com on the way out? And I was like, sure. And she held up 3, and I was just kind of panicking because I looked up someone that I wanted, and none of the ones that I put on my wish list, which was the or like original one, the fig one, I think it's called Wild Fig, and then the rose one. I think those 3 were the ones that I wanted to put on my wish list to maybe try out in the future. And then she held up 3. There was this one, which is the lavender one. She held up the mango one and the coconut one. And at the time I was like panicking a bit, and I think in hindsight maybe I should have gone for the mango one, because this one is nice. It does smell a lot like lavender, and you know, it has like a slight tint to it. Like I said, it is like a purpley pink, and let me swatch maybe a little bit out. It's like a purpley pink kind of color, which is kind of why I regret it. The scent is really nice, but I have realized that I don't really like a lot of pink tones on me anymore. But you can see it right there, it's like a slight tint. It's very, this is a different swatch from when I did my makeup, by the way, but you can see up here slightly, very slight tint. And honestly, it doesn't give enough tint that I think it would be an issue using this one, but maybe I should go for the mango one. If you have any of these, let me know which one is your favorite. But yeah, I'm very excited to try this. This is the lavender bomb.com. I'm not counting it as a beauty point because it was for free, and I'm very excited to play around it. I have used it a couple of times, but I need to use it more regularly to see if it actually is very hydrating. My lips are actually quite dry now, so maybe I should try using this one like for the next couple of days, see what it does. But yeah, I got this one for free, and that is the next product that I wanted to talk about. It is also nice though, because I haven't tried Glossier before, so I got this, you know, and you know, it probably wouldn't be the first thing that I picked up, but it's fun, exciting to have something from Glossier in my collection, so that, like I said, is the next product. Then the last product that we have to talk about is one that I picked up 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, because I actually went to Paris. I never been to Paris, I never been to France before, but I went there with one of my colleagues. She is, so in my team, we're like a Scandinavian team. We have like, you know, lots of Scandinavians. We're 6 in our team, and there's not another Swedish girl in my team with the 2 Swedish people. And we 2 just decided to go to Paris because we had some holiday left to use, and our holiday renews 1st of April, so we had like a couple of days left, and we decided to book a day together, and we went to Paris just for the day. We took the Eurostar over, and it was really convenient. We got there, we left like 7 AM in the morning, took the train then, and we got to Paris because they're 1 hour ahead. It was like 10:30. And then we took the train back at 9. So we had like the whole day. We walked so much. We walked like 30,000 steps. It was like 12.5 miles, like 20 kilometers. It was crazy, but I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I really loved it. I would definitely go back to Paris. But yeah, it was really fun. So when I was there, I decided to pop into Sephora to just have a look around. I did actually the day before that go to Sephora in the UK, and they used, actually, that means I should talk about Colmore products. I'll bring them out in a second. But I went to Sephora in the UK because they just recently opened a store in London. We've been wanting a Sephora in the UK for years and years, and finally they opened one up in London. They had an online store now for the last couple of months, I think since like late autumn. But now in March they opened up in Westfield in White City here in London, and I went there after work the other day, the day before, so Wednesday, and I was walked around. I saw this brand there, but they didn't have this specific product, and that's kind of why I decided to pick it up in Paris. It was a little bit of an impulse buy. Afterwards I realized this is probably not the type of product that I need right now, because I have a lot of them. I grow my collection of this type of product for a long time. It's a highlighter. But what I decided to pick up was actually the Positive Light Silky Touch highlighter from Rare Beauty. I never tried Rare Beauty. Obviously it's quite a new brand, especially here, because Sephora is open. I don't think anywhere else carries Rare Beauty, but I decided to get one of these because it was stunning. I swatched it in store and it was really, really, really beautiful. There was two shades that I was deciding in between. It was the lightest, and then this one here, which this one is the shade Exhilarates, which is slightly deeper. I'm actually wearing this one as well today. I don't know if you can pick it up. I think it's really stunning. Like, it's very, very shiny, but it's not very glittery. I really like it, but it does have, when you're not in the light, it doesn't show up very obvious. But yeah, I really like it. I have used it, like you can see a tiny bit there in the center, but you can see how reflective that is. And yeah, I really, really like this product so far. The only thing I was worried about was the base being too deep on this one, and you know, I think if I put it on too heavily it might be a little bit too dark, but I think in summer this will be perfect, even like in spring when I start to get a tiny bit more of a tan, or if I just use a bit more bronzer like I did today. Well, like, I guess this is how much bronzer I use normally anyway, but I do think it's really nice. And the reason why I went for this one rather than the lightest one is the lightest one was very much like a very light champagne, almost like a white gold kind of thing, and I thought I have a lot of those highlighters in my collection. It gave me very similar to like Mary Luminizer vibes, which is what I'm planning at the moment, and I just thought I want to get something slightly different. The only more kind of goldeny highlight like this, or like, I don't know, like a warm goldeny champagne kind of thing that I have is Champagne Pop, and I swatched them next to each other, but this one is definitely more on the champagne side, whereas that one is more on the, or like, I don't know, like more, slightly more like white undertones, or like not as warm and bronzy, I would say. I don't know, Champagne Pop is very bronzy, but you know what I mean. That one is slightly more on that side, whereas this one is actually a bit lighter and on the lighter kind of champagne side. So I'm really happy with this one. It's very exciting though, because I have two brands that are very new to me, something that very recently came on my radar, which is Rare Beauty and Glossier. I have these two brands now to try, which is the first things I own from both of these brands. So that's very, very exciting, and I'm super happy with the purchases I made this month. I do want to try to pick up a few more things in the next couple months. One thing that is very, very high up on my list is the Milk bronzer, like the baked bronzer from Milk. I also want to pick up the Kosas concealer. Is there anything else? I think those two are the main things that I want to try. Maybe the Tower 28 glosses is also quite up high up there. So those are like the three things that I think I'm going to pick up in the next couple of months. I have started making like a wish list on my phone of things that I want to try, so I'm very excited about that. I did also, when Sephora opened here in the UK, you were able to choose two brands to get 10% off all year, and I chose Milk and Kosas. So those two are brands that I'm going to check out a bit more. I also have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, is that what it's called? The like grippy primer. I have that in like a mini size, and I do want to try that out, and if I like that I might pick up the bigger size as well. So my colleague and friend that I went to Paris with, she actually talked about the primer when we were in Sephora, and she said, oh, I have the e.l.f. dupe, it's really, really good. So maybe I'll try that one too, but I don't know. She really converted me to try the Hydro Grip Primer, or like something grippy, because I haven't tried something like that before. I mainly use hydrating primers, but she swears by that primer, so I will give it a try, especially since I already have the mini size in my collection. So those were all the things that I was going to talk about originally. However, I did actually, like I said, go to Westfield on Wednesday, and there was one specific reason why I went there, and that was because Back to Mac was ending. So I have 4 products here, 4 lipsticks to talk about that I picked up from Back to Mac, because I had 24 products to Back to Mac, so I got quite a few things. But let me just go through the lipstick that I got quickly, because again, I don't count these into my beauty budget because I got them for free, but I just thought I would share them with you. So the first one I got is one of the matte lipsticks in the shade Taupe, yeah, definitely Taupe. So let me go ahead and swatch them out. So there you have that first lipstick. They're all kind of nudes, brownie nude, kind of different types of nude, but that is the first one, which was again one of the matte lipsticks. The next one I got was one of the satin lipsticks in the shade Spirit, which is quite similar, but it's a bit more, it's a bit lighter and slightly more kind of cool toned. It has more mauve tones to it. You can see there, that's the shade Spirit. I just wanted to get shades that I know that I would wear quite regularly, and more nudes, because I have a lot of bright colors in my collection. I do have more nudes now than I used to, but I used to love wearing nudes. That's what I wear like every single day, unless I go for a specific look or I'm panning something brighter. So yeah, I wanted to stock up on some more nudes. Next up, I actually got two of the Powder Kiss lipsticks. Some people said they weren't sure these were available. I think it might depend on the location you're in, but I asked and these were also included in the back to MAC. So next one I got was Teddy 2.0, which is one of their Powder Kiss lipsticks. I think this is supposed to be like a similar color to Velvet Teddy. I have swatched them. This one is a little bit lighter, I would say, and not a little bit warmer almost, but it might just be because the formula is a bit sheerer, but you can see it right there. So that is the next one, which was Teddy 2.0. Then the last one I got, which is also one of the Powder Kiss lipsticks, is the shade Sultry Move. And this one I think is, yeah, it's a bit more kind of rosy peachy undertones, I would say. It's actually quite similar to Taupe, but just like the Powder Kiss formula, and obviously lighter because the formula isn't as opaque. But those were the four lipsticks that I decided to pick up with the back to MAC, and I know they're all very similar, but they're not quite the same, and these are the type of tones that I wear the most recently. So those are the last four products that I'm going to talk about that I got into my collection this past month. So since only the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick and the highlighter from Rare Beauty counted, I ended up using 2 points this past month. Let's discuss the points that I've earned. So I did have 2 more makeup empties, which gave me a total of 8, which meant 1 more point there, so that's 1 point. I also had 7 more pans, which brought me to a total of 20, so that's 2 more points there. And that is the only points that I earned. I had no more eyeshadow empties, and those are mainly the ways that I can earn points. I didn't declutter anything either, actually. So actually, did I? Oh yeah, I did, but not enough. I did actually declutter 2 lipsticks to go back to MAC, so that's 2 declutters actually that I haven't considered, but I need 5 declutters to get a point anyway. I just need to add that I decluttered 2 here, so 2 declutters, but again, not enough for a point. So I did end up earning 3 new points, again 2 from the pans and 2 from the empty, which brought me to a total of 17 at the beginning of the month, or at the end of the month, I guess, without subtracting the new points spent. So 14 rollover, 3 new, 17, and I did spend 2, which means that I now have 15 points to start off April with. So I'm very, very happy with that. I am happy with the amount of points that I have. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna probably make a few purchases in April for things. I think with the Milk bronzer, I'm gonna pick that up, but only when I finish the bronzer that I'm currently panning, because I want to get that one out first, and that's the one I'm using every single day anyway. So I don't want to buy something else before I finish that, because I don't want to just have something sitting in my collection when I'm so determined to finish that bronzer. So that is my update for my beauty budget. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you're doing a beauty budget. Let me know how you're doing, and if you have, again, any recommendations of products you want me to try, specifically from like brands like Closest and Milk, because now those are the 2 that I get 10% off from Sephora. Let me know, and otherwise I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.